people know I have a lot of interest in air travel. And so when I saw the details of this and I realized that it wasn't getting nearly the amount of attention it deserved, I was like, we have to cover this on the show just to make people aware and to keep an eye on this to see if there was anything deeper than what appears right now on the surface. Let's put this up there on the screen just for the details themselves. An off-duty Alaskan Airlines pilot tried to shut off the engines on an Everett flight, according to the airline, while he was taking a ride on Sunday and in the jump seat inside of the cockpit. So let that sink in. This off-duty pilot was riding as kind of a shotgun, right? And he was like, hey, can I hitch a ride? And the team was like, absolutely, sure. The guy already works for the airline. Because he's a pilot, they seat him inside of the cockpit, which means he was screened. That means he's gone through security testing. I mean, theoretically, I'm assuming this man has actually flown real passengers. Well, according to the authorities, while they were mid-air, this pilot, Joseph Emerson, tried to shut off the engines in flight, had to be subdued by the crew, and in one case even tried to deploy the fire suppression to stop the engines from reigniting. And we don't know the exact details. Passengers who were on the plane, by the way, they say they had no idea any of this is happening, which I'm not sure that I actually am comforted by any of that. But here is the actual audio from air traffic control where they describe this incident as they're requesting landing for an emergency in Portland. Let's take a listen.
Okay, I'll just give you a heads up. We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit, and he doesn't sound like he's causing any issue in the back right now. I think he's subdued. Other than that, yeah, we want law enforcement as soon as we get on the ground and park.
Very calm. I love
Other than that, it's 62 degrees in Portland. It's rain expected this afternoon.
Passengers were like, we had no clue. I had no idea that it was going on. They just came on. They're like, hey, we got to land in Portland. They were like, okay, whatever. I mean, you know, not happy about it, but you had no idea that somebody tried to crash the plane while we were there. Since then, this man, Joseph Emerson, has been charged now, let's put this up there on the screen, with 83 counts of attempted murder for allegedly trying to shut off the engines on this flight. And again, we don't know very much about Joseph Emerson, except that he was charged now with 83 counts of attempted murder, 83 counts of reckless endangerment, misdemeanor, and 1 felony count of endangering an aircraft. I mean, this was, you know, what's really, I think, crazy to me, Ryan, is one of the reasons that he was en route from Everett to San Francisco is he was scheduled to actually be on the flight crew of a 737. So that's the big question. I mean, was this a moment of crisis? Is this a mental health event, you know, that happened, that manifested? Is this, I mean, I hate to even speculate. Is it like a terrorist attack? Like, what is happening here? Why did he try to do it while he was off duty and not whenever he was the actual pilot? I mean, what is the backstory to all of this? I will say one quote that they have is, quote, he was heard in the moments prior saying something similar to, quote, I'm not right. That's a federal official telling ABC News. Again, he was sitting in the flight deck on the jump seat, and he unsuccessfully tried to disrupt it. Presumably, there's a recorder inside of there, so we should be able to get the audio of everything that was happening. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a really crazy situation.
We're extremely lucky that he tried to do it as a co-pilot, and that the pilot somehow managed to fend him off. And the announcement to the passengers is just absolute classic American pilot.
Right.
Like, just a heads up that the man who was trying to kill us all is no longer in the cockpit, and the pilot who wants to keep the engines on remains in the pilot. And local time is 2:37. We're going to have a little turbulence at 30,000 feet for the next 30 minutes, so we're going to leave the seatbelt signs on. You know, so just absolutely incredible to hear that, because I'm sure half the passengers weren't actually listening.
Oh, definitely.
And then you kind of, and then you halfway hear, like, wait, hey, hold on. Did he just say?
Right. Well, so I
the
think
guy
that
that tried to turn the engines off
is in the back
of the plane.
Passengers, though. I think that was on air traffic control.
Oh,
although again,
okay.
I'm not 100% sure, because they also said that they did come over on the passenger audio and just be like, hey, we're making a landing. We're going to be fine. We're going to get you off the
Everything's
plane.
good.
Some people were. I think people were just confused. They thought it was a serious medical emergency. Anyway, look. I mean, you got 83 souls. I think there was even a lap infant, on the plane. What's scary thing is this man has been flying for quite a long time. He's a 44-year-old man. They have photos of him posted in a flight crew uniform going back to 2016. I mean, I've flown on an Alaskan Airlines flight from San Francisco, so it's it's one of the most common routes, direct flights from Washington to Portland to San Francisco to I think to Los Angeles as well. So I mean, people I know take that plane probably every day. So this is one of those that definitely just hits for all of us, and it's a terrifying situation. The big question just remains: what was the motive here? And, we can't forget, there was that terrible, I think it was a German Airlines flight, a Lufthansa affiliate in which the pilot committed suicide, or the co-pilot committed suicide while the pilot was in the bathroom. And then obviously there's still, gajillion questions around the Malaysian flight that disappeared, and the flight simulator and the pilot themselves still remains a mystery. Pilot suicide being most likely explanation. So look, I guess the only consolation that we have here is that he tried it whenever he was off duty and in the jump seat. Was not while he was in the actual pilot seat, which he was literally en route to do so. He's been arrested. Presumably, he will be put on trial, and we'll get to the bottom of this. I certainly hope that we do so, but did want to give everybody an update on that situation.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.